Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I have a couple things to go through with you before we start the project. And the project is going to be this cake mold, the round one. I did the heart one, now I want to do the round one, and I was waiting for this to come in, which I've had for about a week. I'm just a little intimidated. This is the hand-painted epoxy resin from Let's Resin. This is the newest product, and from what I'm told, it is really thick. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, and I should be able to pipe it like I pipe buttercream on a cake. So I think I'm going to try that on this one. So we're going to test that out. I have a new glitter that I have added to my eBay store called Clover. Look at that gorgeousness for St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to try that out. And I'm also going to use my metallic gold because you know there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But Estoyo reached out to me, and you all know I love their stand mixer that they sent me before. They have sent me their newest one and asked if I wanted to try it and review it on the channel. So I'm like, I already have one. I feel bad taking another one. And they said, by all means, they would love to send it to me. So they did. So now I have 2 stand mixers. And this one seems to be rechargeable as well as the last one was. So here is this. And this looks like 3 different buttons. Oh, that's a power button, but it's got 3 numbers on it. I'll have to read the directions. I also have to charge it. So let's take a look and see what we have in this box. So the last one came with 3 paddles, which were all 3 or 2 paddles. I think it came with 2 or 3, I don't remember. But this one seems to have 2 large paddles and then 2 small paddles. So that's good because you can use them in bigger batches and smaller batches. The other one only came with the small paddles. And this is the stand, a silicone tray, of course, for your drippings. And here's the base of it. So this would go on here like the other one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get this charging up for a little while before I try it. So we're gonna get that plugged in, figure out what these buttons are. Let me see if I could find them really quick. Let's see, it says, there's an AI button. Okay, let's see, let's start at the beginning. Wipe the residue down with a baby wipe or disinfecting wipe, and then wash the paddle in warm with mild soap. Your tool requires no additional maintenance. Always store in a cool, dry place. Okay, AI mode. So that's this button here. This function is suitable for resin art beginners. Press and hold the power button for 2 seconds to turn on the machine. Then press AI button to start automatic mixing. When AI mode is running, the LED light will flash. In AI mode, the resin mixer will automatically stir for 4 minutes and will stop automatically after 4 minutes with a beeping. Oh, that's nice, because I time myself. So it's not for just beginners, that's going to be for everybody. To exit AI mode, press the AI button twice in a row to exit. Cool. Okay, so then this is forward and reverse. That's your power button, and there's your AI button. I'm going to like that button for sure. So charging, lights flash, fully charged, light always on. And let's see, they show you how to insert your paddle. Let's see, the switch on and off. Press and hold the power button for 2 seconds to turn on the machine. Short press the power button to adjust the speed gear. The speed gear corresponds to the LED light as shown in figure D. Long press the power button for 2 seconds to turn off the power and beep sound. During use, short press the direction key to change the mixing direction, which I don't do that because I don't want to add any extra bubbles. So this also says to register your product to activate your free 2-year tool warranty. Ooh, awesome. All right, so, by the way, I got an unexpected package in the mail today from a viewer whose name I do recognize from comments. Kathy Carr, you did surprise me today with some happy mail, and let me show you what she got me. So she knows I use Ocean White. I use Ocean White a lot. So she has purchased a new bottle for me. Mine is getting about half full. So I really appreciate that because I do love the Ocean White. She also sent me a little silicone, what do you call these? Like a brush, I guess a brush. So I'm wondering, sometimes I'm wiping around the UV resin with my hands. I think I'm going to try this brush so I don't ruin my paint brushes anymore. So that might come in more handy than you think, Kathy. And then she gave me a challenge, although she said I didn't have to do it, but you know I have to do it. So she sent 4 molds. And these are very intricate molds, except the difference between these and those sea life ones that I did is these are raised this way. So I cannot fill those with resin before I fill the mold. So I may have to fill this mold, then flip the mold over and fill it with UV resin after the fact and do a top coat. So there's a tree, very pretty. That would be beautiful in like blues for like winter time. And this one looks like, I'm not sure what that is. Does anybody know what that is? Is it a flower? Is it a tulip maybe? I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I don't know. So if you know what that's supposed to be, please let me know or send me the link to it so I could see some examples. Here's another tree. So I can definitely see all these little leaves are going to take some time. And then it came with a heart mold with a tree. This one has birds. This one looks the hardest. I'm not sure. It's going to be between these two. So Kathy Carr, thank you so much. That was a really nice surprise. I love coming home to mail I don't expect. And yeah, I'm going to take the challenge. It may not be tomorrow, but I will take the challenge. So let me get this set up and we will get started. Before I mix up any resin and I'm charging the charger, I'm going to go ahead and paint this because I want this whole thing green and gold for the holiday. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to try not to flip it over. I want my icing here painted gold. I'm just trying to see where it stops. So I'm going to stop at this line the best I can, and then I'll have to go in very carefully with a micro brush and alcohol to clean everything else out. I think. I'm going to go take a look at the top of my other cake and see what I did. Okay, so I did stop at this line, and this whole lip was the color of the cake. So that's what I'm going to do on this one too. So I'm just going to very carefully, this dust goes very, very far. So it's going to be kind of a pain to clean it up. So I'm just going to do the best I can, get it in there, because this stuff looks like a bar of gold once it's in your resin and it won't come off. That's what I like about it, because you're not using a paint pen and it doesn't come off. You don't ever have to touch it up. So I'm just going to move it around, get it in the best that I can. Now it's not going to be filled with black or anything, but I don't think it matters. I can't remember. I don't think it matters what color you fill this metallic dust in with. It'll still show because it's going to be the color of the cake, which is going to be that green glitter. I'm going to use the green glitter in my cake. And we will have to use Daniel Cooper's glue trick that I learned from him to suspend that glitter, because it's a chunky glitter and it will sink, and I don't want it to sink in my cake. So I'm just going to get this done, fast forward for you, and then we will mix up a little bit of resin. We're just going to mix this part up first. I'm not going to mix up the cake because I want this to cure. So I'll put this on my curing mat or like the curing machine or something. So I took my fat makeup brush and I just brushed it out over the garbage can, and I got all the extra dust out before I clean it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of alcohol and clean the whole thing, except of course where I want it. So this could take a little while. I'm not going to do the bottom portion because this icing part is also on this part of the mold. It's at the bottom. But I'm going to wait till it's full of resin so I don't have to worry about pouring over it before I need to. So I'm just going to do this part for now. I'll mix up like 1 ounce of resin just to fill this portion, and then try to get it cured quickly. I know it doesn't matter how quickly it gets cured to you guys. You're gonna see it in 1 second anyway. But it matters to me because I'm impatient. So I have about 3 videos that I know for sure I want to do for St. Patrick's Day. So I'm hoping I can get them all in before the holiday gets here, just to give you guys some ideas before the holiday gets here. So I'm going to try to work on those in the very near future, hopefully this week, just so I can get you guys some ideas. I want to say thanks to everybody for buying that new product that I came out with, which is the variety pack. It was for St. Patrick's Day, and I clearly had no idea how popular those were going to be because I only made 10 and I probably needed 100. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy them. I'd love to see the projects you make with all the things that I gave you in that box. And don't worry, all of you who missed out on that one, I will be doing themed boxes all the time. And yeah, you'll eventually get one, but I'm one person here, so you got to be patient with me. They take many, many days to prepare. It's not something I can do in one day, especially for the amount of people that wanted them. So I'm just going to kind of carefully clean this. But yeah, I'll just come back when it's... So I figured I'd show you what I'm doing in case you're new to resin. So I took an alcohol, just a clean brush with alcohol on it, and I cleaned this whole edge around there. And I got a little bit off these edges, so I just wanted to touch them back up. So I'm using this little makeup eyeshadow applicator because it doesn't like spread everywhere, which is probably what I should have done. And I've also unfolded this whole thing so I can get to each spot and clean each spot. So I'm just going around here and touching up all the edges that I kind of messed up. And as you can see, this little eyeshadow brush doesn't put dust everywhere. So maybe start off with that instead of doing it the way I did it. Just don't get too much on there because then it will spread. So I think I've got it all now, and I'm just gonna kind of brush it out again, clean it up again, but not quite as meticulously as you needed to the first time. So I'm just going to wipe this little edge. And maybe I'll mix a little bit of this powder into my actual resin to fill this 1 ounce full, just to give it, just in case, you know, you don't see all the way through. I want to get the full effect of the gold if I can. And a little bit over here, and then we will be ready. That looks good. So just be careful when you're putting it back inside out, although there's no powder really anymore, but it did flick some glitter. So take your time. I mean, your project will come out a lot better if you just take your good old time and clean like you need to clean. It'll be worth it in the end for the extra 10 minutes that it takes you. Although I am putting glitter in it anyway, but you know me. All right, that looks good. I'm going to mix up 1 ounce of my 4-hour fast cure, which now comes in a 1-gallon kit. Love this stuff. So let me get that mixed, and I'm going to just mix in some of this gold powder in there. Now, when I'm talking about mixing by ounce, I'm talking ounce by volume, not by weight. So if you're new to resin, the cups are measured by ounces or milliliters or however you want. This one has draws too. So my ounces are by volume. I don't measure mine by weight because that's not the directions on the bottle. So they must not weigh the same, and I'm not going to do the calculations. So I just do mine by ounces. So I'm just going to, like I said, put some of this. I don't know if I've ever put this powder into my resin before, to be honest with you. I've always just brushed it on, and I'm sure you don't need much because it's metallic. See the metallics in it? Pretty cool. Then I'm going to pour it in. I'm sure it's much prettier painted on because now it's like a dull gold, but it's still pretty, I guess. I don't know. I've never used it in resin before like this. So I used the tiniest bit and it's pretty good. Now some was floating, but since it would float to the back of this one, it's not a concern of mine on this particular project. So if you are concerned about it floating, then make sure you mix it really, really good. See how you could see the top of it? Oh, maybe you can't see it. See those little bits? That's not mixed in. But I'm not gonna get too upset about it in this one. Like I said, it's on the back, it'll be covered. So I'm just going to squeeze my little cup and I don't know, very gently, so I don't have a huge mess to clean up. Pour it in each one of these little icing, piped icings. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on top of this cake yet, but I want to put something on it for, for the holiday, so I'm not quite sure what it will be. I might have to print something out on my Cricut for it. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't quite gotten that far. Used about half an ounce actually, or maybe, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the ounce. So I'm going to take these little rose molds that I just got. I'm just going to use the rest in here and see what they look like. And if I use them on the cake, I do. If not, that's okay. I'll keep them for another cake, depending on what idea I come up with. I'm just going to grab my stick and help it get down in there. I guess I could spray these with alcohol first to try to alleviate the bubbles. That took about half of it. Let me spray the other one with alcohol. Whoops. So I got the whole border and 3 of my roses with that 1 fluid ounce of resin. So I'm going to cure all these all at the same time in the curing machine. And hopefully they'll be done in about an hour. Then we can pour some glitter. So I was looking through my extras molds and I have these two little bow molds. I got these off of Temu pretty cheap. I think what I'm going to do is dust a few of these with the gold dust, and I may be adhering them when I pipe my buttercream on the side. Usually I like something at the top of the point. Maybe these little bows might work. I'm not sure which ones. So I mixed up a 1/2 ounce of resin, and I should have dusted the mold first. I'm just going to pour not the biggest one because that's too big for this cake mold. I'm just going to dust these littler ones with the gold. Since the sides are going to be green, I wanted the gold accents to be on the cake too on the sides. And if I don't like them, I won't use them. I'm sure I'll use them for something. But let's just see what happens. Now, these are not shiny molds. These are made for fondant. So I will have to shine them up myself once I demold them with some UV resin, which is easy enough. And a good opportunity to use Kathy's little baster brushy thingy that she sent me. So let's see if that works today too. Oh, and now's a good time to tell you, today is a giveaway day. I have filled up my cupcake mold. It is filled up to the top. So you may notice some smiley face or sad face or laughing face emojis, or it could be all of them. But there's a bunch of little face emojis coming up on this video. And in order to enter to win at no cost to you, I will pay the shipping, this little cupcake, you need to comment how many of those emojis you saw during this whole entire video. So that will cut down on the amount of people entered, although last time most of you got it right, so it didn't really cut down much. So that's what you need to do on this one. There are little face emojis popping up on my video today. Let me know in the comments how many there were total if you want my freebie giveaway today. I will unmold it here in just a second so you could think about whether you want it or not, since I'm still waiting for that to cure. But let me get this done first. What I did was I took all my extra resin, instead of putting it in the cake or into the hand mold, although some of it went in the hand mold, because I always give my hand mold away too when it gets unmolded. I filled up this cupcake, which was super cute, and it didn't take a whole lot of resin to do that. So I'm going to unmold that here in a second. So that's going to be layered just like my hands are layered. I don't know if it's going to look as cool as the hands look. We're going to find out here in just a second. So let me go brush this extra out and pour the resin in, since I mixed it up first and I shouldn't have. Then we're going to unmold the giveaway. This barely holds anything, so I may end up putting some in the hand mold today. I don't know. Wasn't sure how much to mix up, so I just did 1/2 ounce. This stick is not the best tool to use. Let me find one of my little silicone sticky thingies that I like. Just press it into all your corners. And I do want it, I'm not going to dome this because I want the back flat so it could sit up against the cake pretty evenly. Let me move this out of the way. There is a foam piece that comes with these cake molds. Don't throw that foam piece away. That's going to give you your support when you're filling the mold with all that resin. So it just sits in the back of your mold. And it's just, like I said, it's just support. So don't throw that piece away thinking it's packaging. I have a little left. I think I'm just going to fill these little turtles, so I brushed them with the gold too. Maybe they're little lucky turtles at the pot of gold. I don't know if I'll have enough for both. I did fill up that other big bow too, even though I won't use it on the cake. Let's see, can I scrape enough out? That's the question. These turtles are teeny weeny, but they are ever so cute. Oh yeah, we'll have enough. Perfect amount. Whoops. Get it into his head. I always forget the tail. Let's see if I can get the tail to work this time. Try to stuff it in the tail. It's so tiny. So I'm going to have to jam pack my curing machine right now with all these other pieces. Just one more scrape. So we got a lot going on in this video, you guys, so it's probably going to be longer than normal. So all you folks who like the long videos, pretty sure this is one for you today. All right, let's unmold this baby. Now I did paint the sides of the cupcake paper with mica powder. And then when the extras, about this much of extras, whatever color it was, I added black pigment so I could fill that mica powder in with black. Let me just grab my alcohol spray. This is really soft silicone though. I didn't have a problem getting it out the first time. And again, this is really a soap mold, so it's not going to come out shiny. We're going to fix her up though when we're done. Here it comes. Oh goodness. There it is. I guess I had black on top. Not sure that was the best color to choose. So I have black, blue, pink, gold, green, and red. Well, I don't know. If you guys decide you want to win this, go ahead and put that number in the comments. Let's trim off the bottom. And we're going to get it nice and shiny with some UV resin. And I wonder if I can use that hand painter's resin to drizzle some like chocolate drizzle over the top. I'm not sure you'll see it though because of all the colors. I know a lot of you are freaking out about the knife thing. Don't worry, I haven't cut myself yet. I just don't like the deburring tool very much. All right, so in order to get this shiny, let me move some of this stuff out of my way here. We're going to use UV resin. And I'm going to try that brush that Kathy gave me, this one. Let's see if that works. So I'm just going to grab my UV light. Should we put sprinkles on it or should we leave it? Let me grab some sprinkles. Not sure if I should put sprinkles on there or not. That might be a little too much. Maybe I'll just leave it. I think less is more in this case. I have learned, however, I'm not going to put black in the top of my icing. I'm not too happy about that. What can I do to fix that up? Let me think for a minute. I think I'm going to take my little gold chrome marker and go over the edges just to jazz it up a little bit because I'm not crazy about that black. And I don't want whoever wins this thing to have like a moldy looking cupcake. So yeah, I will fast forward this for you. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my UV resin And I'm going to sprinkle it all over my cupcake. I'm just going to go all the way around. Try to do it all at one time. My handy dandy brush. What perfect timing, Kathy, to get this brush to me, because it just dawned on me that I can use that for this. I'm just kind of getting all that UV resin everywhere to shine this back up. This might not be so bad after I'm done with it. All right, I'm going to throw this in my dual light, so it's going to cure from the top and the bottom, and then I'll do the bottom portion. So my mixer is fully charged, so as soon as that cake mold is ready for the main event, we're going to use that, and I added a little pearl on the top to cover the top. So if you like it, remember, count the emojis and comment in the comments how many there were. It's really not that bad, but I will be more conscious next time when I'm filling mold of what colors I'm putting in there. Okay. Let's let that cure and we will unmold a few things. Well, not unmold. We're going to continue on with a few things. I forgot to tell you, so I took a paper towel and alcohol and this came out perfectly clean. So this is a good solution if you need to brush on your UV resin. To save a little bit of time, I demolded all the extras, so I'll just show you those. The little turtles came out super cute and his tail worked. Finally. So I have 2 turtles. I don't know what I'm going to do with a gold turtle, so somebody out there in Glitterland is going to end up with them. Maybe I'll put a magnet on the back for you. The bows came out decent, actually. Even though it's not a shiny mold, I'm pretty happy with it. However, I got some bubbles. Not happy with the bubbles. This one here, extra bubbles. So, I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. This one had a lot of bubbles too. So this one is definitely not going to be used because that whole piece right here is a bubble. So some of the little ones are okay. Some of the medium ones are okay. Now, this is the difference. When you mix the metallic into your resin, this is what you get. Now, the flower itself came out beautiful. I don't really see any bubbles in any of the edges. However, it's not metallic. So I don't know that they're going to go with this. I'll save them for a cake at some point, but I don't think I'm going to use them in this project. Unless maybe I outline. Maybe if I outline them, I don't know. I'll play around with it and see what I come up with. But I'm just going to move these all out of the way. And we are going to try this new mixer. I gotta pour my resin real quick. I'm gonna use my pump resin for this one because I will be putting Elmer's glue in it so we can hold the glitter, which I'm gonna dump a lot of glitter in it because I really want a lot of that in here. So we'll use the Elmer's glue after I get it mixed. So let me get my resin poured in here. Again, I'm using my casting resin. It is a 24-hour cure. I'm not going to be touching it. It's really late at night right now, so I'm not worried about 4-hour fast cure at this point. So let's see how the mixer does with my casting resin. Okay, I'm using this small paddle bit for this little cup. So it said to press and hold the power button, I think for 2 seconds to turn it on. And I'm using the AI button. So this is going to count 4 minutes for me. I'm not going to make you watch the entire 4 minutes, but I will let you see the beginning. So far, like the other one, very, very few bubbles. I'm pressing it against the bottom because the bottom of the paddle is flat. So I've found that it does get the resin mixed up off the bottom. And then I always do go around my edges. And I always go in one direction because that also cuts down on the bubbles, so I don't ever put it in reverse. And I just kind of do that the whole time that it's running. I usually time myself, but like I said, I'm trying this AI button that says it's timing it for me. So I'm just going to work it up the sides and on the bottom for the whole 4 minutes. Now, I don't know how well you can see. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit. But so far, there are virtually no bubbles in here. Just make sure you don't pull the paddle out of the top of the resin, because you will incorporate bubbles that way. So if you don't have any kind of vacuum chamber or a resiner's airless machine, then I would recommend that you get a good stirring mixer so you're not incorporating bubbles, since you can't really get them out that easy. And I think, honestly, if I'm looking at this, I think it went in reverse all by itself. I'm gonna wait and see if I can notice it, if it stops and went in reverse. It did something, but I don't know what it did. Yep, okay. So the AI is actually reversing it automatically, which I'm not sure I like that, but it's still not incorporating any bubbles that way. So maybe it doesn't matter as long as you keep it submerged. So I'm just pushing it along the bottom. And again, I'm just going up the sides so I don't have to take a stick to do it after the fact. I'm just going to let this go for the next 4 minutes. Did you see that? It stopped and it went the other way all by itself. I'll come back as soon as it's done. All right, it shut off all by itself. And I'm going to take this out. And actually, I'm going to put my mold over here so I could pull this out and drip it in there while I'm waiting. But I want to show you this cup. Hang on. Sometimes they're hard to pull out. Trying to be careful so I don't get resin everywhere. So you just pull it straight out. I think, if it's like the other one. I'm trying not to get my hand full of resin. Okay, so it comes straight out. I'm going to hang that on the hanger. And I'm going to place that inside my mold like that, so all the drippings can go in there. But look at this, guys. If you have not seen this, look at that. There's no bubbles in there. There are like 2 bubbles in there. Okay, maybe 10, not 2. There's a few down inside. So it works just as well as the other one that they had sent a while back. Really happy with it. I like the AI function so I don't have to time it. So that is really, really cool. So I will link them. There is a discount code if you're interested in there. I will link Estoyo in my description box for you. So I'm just going to grab me a stick. And I'm going to dump a ton. And this is called Clover. I don't have a lot of this one. They didn't have a lot in stock when I ordered it. So if you want it, get it now. I don't know how long it's going to last or when I can get more in. I can't remember how much I have, but I know it's not that many. But I will reorder just as soon as I can. Seeing if people want it. If you don't want it, then obviously I'm not going to rush to reorder it. But it's a great color. Even this would work for Christmas too. But I want to put a ton. And I forgot to put my Elmer's glue in first. I don't think it matters. So I want this suspended, but I do want a lot of glitter. I'm going to keep adding. I want a lot of glitter. I don't really want to see a whole lot of clear when I pour it. See on the stick how there's still clear spots? Oh my gosh, I'm going to use my entire stash. You get a lot more. If you haven't bought glitter from me yet, this is just mine. This is what's left over from after packaging. You get a large package of it. You don't get these little bottles that I have. All right, I'm going to put this away for now. I gotta save this for something else because I have other projects I want to do. All right, I'm gonna take my Elmer's glue And in 8 ounces, I'm finding 4 to 5 drops I'm going to start with. After I get the little glue piece off. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go for 5. And what we're looking for is a very gloopy, my scientific word of the day. Very gloopy. It's like it'll stick to each other. It'll be like hair gel. Like, see how that, I don't know if I can get, it just hangs off your stick. And that's what's going to suspend the resin, or not the resin, the glitter in the resin, so it all doesn't sink to the bottom. So like you kind of have to cut it off. I know it's hard to see because I can't get a side view and I'm by myself in here. So I'm going to stop trying because I have too much in this cup to turn it sideways for you. You'll just have to trust me. When you do it the first time, you'll figure it out. You'll see immediately the reaction, but I'm going to put more in. I'm going to put, let's start with 3 more. 1, 2, 3. It cures fine. Nope, it's going in 4 now. It cures just fine. I've never used the white Elmer's glue, so I can't answer if it works or not. I don't know if it's going to tint your resin white or foggy maybe. I don't know. I just bought clear because this is going to last me a lifetime, this clear bottle, so I just figured I'm getting clear and I'm not going to even try the white. So that is nice and really gloopy. It's just kind of hanging off my stick in sheets. And I think that that's what I'm going to go with. Let me grab my molds. So on the lid of the cake, as you can see, the gold looks really good. I can't wait to get that out. So the lid I'm going to fill all the way up. This one here I'm not. So the icing comes to right here. So inside there's like a line. And it doesn't look the same as it is on the outside. So you have to kind of go by the inside line. That's where I'm going to stop, because then once this is cured, I'm going to paint my mica powder inside there. Okay, so I'm thinking here. I'm just going to have to let it go down the sides, I guess. And I do pour some in and then put my stick down there just to make sure I'm not going to get any bubbles. You kind of have to slice it off. Like I said, it's like thick, thick, thick. Push it down. I don't really want any on the back of this right now, because that's going to be the back portion. Really thick. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, I don't see anything, because you can see through these molds really well. I don't see any bubbles. So I'm just going to try to keep it as clean as possible. Otherwise, you're going to have cleaning to do on the icing part before you do the icing. Just go a little slow, because like I said, you're watching that line. When it reaches that line, that's where you want to stop. Otherwise, your icing is going to look like half and half. I did fill this one with water, the bottom portion. I didn't do the lid. It was too late by the time I remembered. The bottom holds 6 ounces all the way to the top. So we kind of have to calculate. I'm guessing 4. I mixed up 8 plus my glitter. I'm guessing 4 without the icing, but I don't know for sure because I haven't done this one yet. I only did the heart one. And this one seems to be bigger than the heart. So just pour a little bit at a time. Like I said, you don't want to pour too much. I'm getting close to that line. This might be the last pour. Hopefully I didn't do too much. Yeah, this is gonna definitely be the last pour. And that is up to the line right now. I really don't want this going down there. I think I'll leave it up here to cure, or maybe I'll spoon it out if I need it. Okay, so this is just going in here. No big deal. But I do want to make sure I don't get bubbles up underneath this. So do kind of squish it around up in there. So I mixed up 8 ounces. We'll see how much I have left after doing these two portions. Let me just get, what can I use? What can I use? Just gonna grab one of these sticks here. I'm trying to avoid bubbles underneath the lip of this. So let's see, do I scoop that out or not? I'm not sure. This one, I guess I could dome it a little bit. Hopefully I won't get any rough edges with the doming. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna slowly put this down and see what happens. Like I said, I do not want to go over that icing line. And we'll see how I did with the glue trick when we unmold it. Hopefully it doesn't sink because I put a lot of glue in there. It still seems okay. I guess I could push it down. That should be fine. And just check your sides. Everything looks good, and I have 1.5 ounces left. So this took 6.5 for the cake part and the lid, plus the glitter, so that's fine. I'm gonna make some extras for you guys with this stuff. All right, I'm gonna let this sit overnight. It's the next day and everything is cured, so this is looking good, but I did see that some of the glitter did sink, not all of it. And then this one did as well, just a little bit. You could see some clear here, but most of it stayed pretty good. So I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. I took some tape because I had little bits and pieces of resin all over that. So I took some tape and I got off tons and tons of bits and pieces. I have tape everywhere. So I cleaned all of that off because what I'm thinking is, I don't know if the color that I filled this in is going to affect the actual gold. So I don't want to take any chances. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my gold on the entire surface of the bottom, because this is the bottom of the cake that you will see from inside. So I'm just going to go ahead. I did get all the little stray pieces of glitter it took me a while last night. I got off all the little pieces of glitter that were stuck on here. So I think I got it pretty good. There's a few bits and pieces of resin stuck, but I don't know. I don't want to break the seal because I don't want the new resin dripping down the side. So I'm trying to be very careful. I cleaned off this edge inside the best I could. Oh, there's another piece of green. And I'm going to try my hardest to get all this covered in the gold metallic. And then what I'll do is when I mix up my resin, I'll probably mix like 3 ounces. I'm going to go ahead and put some gold in the resin like I did for this one. So at least the top and the bottom will match. So that is my plan. Whether it works or not, it should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. So I'm just going to quickly, not quickly for me, but quickly for you, get all of this painted, mix up my resin, and yeah, we're gonna finish this up. I did go to Dollar Tree today because I didn't know what to do at the top. And they had a few little bits and pieces left for St. Patrick's Day. So I found this cute little package of clovers and glitter gold coins. I'm sure the coins are probably too big, but I think the clovers might look good on the top. So I don't know. It was only $1, so if I don't use it, it's okay. We'll use it next year for something. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this all painted up. So there's some little pieces of clear resin that are stuck on the mold. So I know that's going to affect the outcome. So I'm just going to take a little pause here and try to pick as many off as I can. Because when I go to unmold it, you're going to have those little pieces that are going to be a different color gold. I'm sure it won't be a big deal. They're tiny little pieces, but I'm just going to give it a couple minutes and see how much of it I can get off so I can dust the whole bottom properly. So I did want to show you, I'm using my Fast Cure for this, which is much thicker than the casting resin I used. I have this on high speed. Remember, it had variable speeds, and I did put it on AI again. And it's not getting that many bubbles. It's getting more than the casting resin, obviously, because it's a much thicker resin. But if you can see in there, probably not that great. I don't want to lift this out while I'm stirring it. But there are hardly any bubbles. As if I was stirring it by hand, I always get a lot of bubbles. But for a mixer, it's doing really well, especially on fast speed. So you could do it on slow speed to make sure you don't get that many bubbles if you don't have a way to get them out. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And like I said, it's going back and forth, forward and backwards on the AI function still. And it's still not creating very many bubbles at all. I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of this gold. I don't think I'm going to need that much, like very little. Mix it in. I'm not going to put it through the debubbler because you are not going to see the bubbles in mica powder. So hopefully, I did not get all those little pieces off. I just couldn't do it. It wouldn't work, and I was afraid I was going to break the seal. So I just left them on there hoping it's going to be okay. Because this color will shine through. It's a little bit different, but I don't know. We're going to find out. We shall find out in 2 hours. And there is still some like dust in there, so it's probably going to float to the back. And I don't even know how much I need. I mixed up 3 ounces. I don't know. Actually, I think it only takes 2 ounces now that I'm thinking about when I measured it. I did measure it with water. And it was 8 total, and I think I put, oh, I don't know, it's taking all 3, so it's taking 3 ounces. What a good guess. That means my measurements were off yesterday. So yeah, see all that's floating on the top. Well, actually the bottom, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm gonna throw this in the curing machine because I want to demold this today. And we'll get this embellished and we will try our hand-painted resin. It's cured, you guys. You ready to unmold? I am. Let's see what we got to work with here. I still don't have a definite plan what to do next. I just know what I'm going to be using. Came out of the mold nice. Oh, look at that top. Now it looks like some bubbles in my icing. we'll just call them air pockets. Icing gets air pockets. That's normal. So everything looks good. There's no major bubbles. There's one right there. A small one here. 3 bubbles, but they're not that bad. This one I'm not so sure about. Let's see what we got. I don't know if I'm gonna paint my icing on again, because that didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. Let's see, maybe if I roll it down. Still soft. I'm just getting it out of the curing machine about half hour ago, so it's a little bit warm. Yep, some of my glitter did sink. Let me fix my mold. Gonna be using that a lot. There's the bottom. So see all those little things that look like bubbles? That's the resin that I didn't pick off. Okay, so as you can see, this bottom here is a little clear. Not horrible. It didn't get my icing perfect, so there's like this border of gold around it, not so much on this side. So all these little things that look like bubbles, that's those little resin pieces I couldn't pick off. So I don't think I'm going to do the paint on mica again. Other than that, look at the glitter. Let's see what it looks like put together. So it's pretty cute so far. Here's the cake. Now I want to pipe my icing. Let me see what those little bows might look like. Let me grab them. So I'm thinking, like if you pipe the cake, you always have something at the top of your piping, which I would have to pipe them on first. I'm so nervous because this is not on a turnstile like a cake would be, although I guess I could put it on one if I wanted to. But the bows are kind of cute. Are they St. Patrick's Day? But no, but they're cute. Let me see what the top's gonna look like if I'm going to use these things. So I kind of need to have a plan before I move on. Oops, I just spilled a bunch. Well, at least one. So, let me see what we got here. Some are too big. I don't know what some of these are. Some aren't made very well. I'd have to trim them. I'm not sure what that is. I know what that is. Decisions. Because I really want it to be specifically St. Patrick's Day. I don't want to be guessing, what is this? You know? I'm not crazy about the way they put their glitter on these things. Although, what do you expect for $1? Or do I go with these hearts? I mean, not hearts, roses. But they're not the right color gold, really. I mean, I could put the roses on. I could trim them in gold with my gold paint pen. Remember these I made a while ago with this color? I could kind of... I only made one like that, though. The other ones are flat. I'm not crazy about the flattish ones for this particular. So I can't really use this one unless I do 3. Right, Happy St. Patrick's Day or something on there? I don't know. Well, let me think about this. So it's a good thing you guys don't know how long I put you on pause, because that took me a while to figure out what I was going to do. What I did was cut out Happy St. Patrick's Day on my Cricut in gold. Of course, transfer tape didn't work, so now I'm stuck with this tape. And somebody did say in a comment, and I only remember when I need it, but they sell painter's tape that you can see through. I, of course, don't have it because I don't remember until I need it. The other thing I did was I took my gold paint pen And I went around the tips of my roses just so it made them look a little more gold. What do you think about that? If I put them on here like this, like 3 up here somewhere. That's my plan. So I think I'm going to do that down in this section. I don't know. First I'm going to put this. I'm going to kind of put this to the side. So I cut the circle almost exactly with the gap around the letters so I don't have to guess where it's at. So I'm just going to get this on and cover it with about, I don't know, a ½ ounce of resin just to hold it in. And then I might try to adhere these into the resin. If not, I will glue them and UV resin them later. But first, let's see how this looks. Look at how adorable. And if anybody's interested while I'm thinking of it, this is on my eBay store. So if somebody wants this little cake for somebody or for yourself, you will find it in there. And yes, there's only one. When it's gone, it's gone. So what do you think? So we're gonna try not to cover that. Oh, actually, you know, I can just lay it right in there. I don't really have to do what I was gonna do, because like on a typical cake, I would like stack my flowers. That's cute too, though. Maybe I will stack my flowers. I like them stacked like that. Let me get some resin mixed up. I'm gonna put that on. See what I'm gonna do about the flowers. I don't think they'll stack because it'll be liquid. And then what I've been like waiting to do, like I'm nervous, so I've been putting it off till last, is try to pipe some of that hand painter's resin. Before I forget, I came home today to some more Happy Mail, so I want to show you what someone sent me. So this is from Renee Brandenburg, who happens to live like an hour and a half south of me. And you will see her on an upcoming video because she is going to come and do a video with me. She sent me a 16 color metallic alcohol ink set. I do not have these and I'm super excited. She texted me a picture of a project she was making and asked me if I had anything like this and how sparkly it came out, and I thought it was gorgeous. So she sent me an entire package. I am so excited to use those. I also received another package. This is from Light Wish, and they've sent me their colored UV resin diamond glitter to review for them. So I agreed. And these are pretty big. I'm not going to go through them today, but I was excited to see. The bottles are so large. I did open the blue one just to check it out, and they are super sparkly. So you will see those two in an upcoming video. So now, right now, I'm going to use my tabletop epoxy, which I don't normally always use, but since it's a coating and it gets cured very quickly, it gets sticky pretty fast. I think I'm going to use the tabletop epoxy on this. So I'm just going to mix up about ½ ounce, 3/4 ounce maybe, and get that on there. Okay, it's my last stalling technique until I get to that hand-painted epoxy. I don't think I can stall anymore. It's just very intimidating because I don't know what to expect. I'm just going to do a really thin coat. Not only will it make the glitter sparkle more, but it's going to seal everything in. That makes the glitter look so gorgeous. If you guys want this glitter, there are a few in the store. I'm going to try to get some more before St. Patrick's Day, but I'm not sure that I can. But I'm going to try. That was plenty. So now I have a lot left over. All right, so I guess I could torch it since it's not sitting in a mold. Not that I can't really see any bubbles in it, so that's good. The question is, will these stay up? Yeah, they probably will. Oh, maybe not. If I can get them to stand up right now, they will be stuck in the resin for me, but I don't know if I can get them to without covering. They're really slippery. I guess if I throw it in the curing machine, maybe? Not sure. What do I do? What do I do? Do I just let them lay down? Then it kind of covers my happy. Or do I do that? Maybe I'll do that. Then they're not leaning against each other. What do you guys think about that one? I think that looks cute. That'll work. Then it's not covering my words. All right, let me find something to do with the extra. I'm going to mix up my hand-painted epoxy and give this a go. All right, you guys, so I mixed it up. You have to weigh it. It's 2-to-1 by weight. I have 30 grams total here, and this stuff is weird. Look at this. It's like it doesn't come off your spoon, which it shouldn't if it's going to pipe. What I'm wondering, I was going to put my Gold Rush gold in it to kind of have a gold effect. I don't remember if this is going to dry white or if it dries clear. And I don't know what's going to happen if I put glitter in here. So I don't know. What's the worst that can happen? I have to mix up more? Let's try it. And I want it like really thick because I don't want it to run down my sides of my cake. I don't know. I'm so nervous. I haven't seen anybody do this on YouTube yet. If you have, let me know who so I can watch them. Well, you could see the glitter. That's so weird that it's resin. It's more like a glue. I'm wondering if I should wait a while because I do want it nice and sturdy. It's not as thick as a buttercream would be just yet, but like I'm only a couple minutes into stirring this. So I'm going to just sit here and stir for a few minutes and see if I can get it to come thicker. I already have my piping bag ready. And I did put a tip in here. Don't worry, everybody. I will not use this for cakes anymore. I have hundreds of them. This is now a permanent resident of the resin room. All right, let me just watch this for a bit and I'll come back when I'm ready. All right, so I was nervous and I did it off camera. So I think it's ready. It doesn't seem to be falling. It's more like a glue. So what I did was I marked little dots around. I know you can't really see them with some Sharpie marker where I want I don't know that they're even, but we're gonna go with it. And then I think I'm gonna stick it in the curing machine just because I don't know how long it takes to cure. I lost the paper. Yeah, that one didn't come out great. Oh my goodness. I hope I made enough. I'm not used to holding a cake like this to decorate the sides. Let's see. A couple more. I should have enough. This stuff is pretty cool. I have plenty. I think I'll wipe that one off. That's the only one I messed up. What's the best way to do that? Let's grab one of these. start over. Can't even tell it was there. So I will be putting something probably at the top of these peaks. I think, because I hope it's not too thick to add something. I can't really stick my bow on it now. It might be too thick. What do I do here? Maybe I'll wipe some of this off. Let's see what my bows need. I might have to make more bows. Oh my gosh, this project is going to take forever. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I think I will. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I wish I had an example to look at. Maybe I can just, you know what? I'm just going to go up to the top like I did. And if the bow doesn't work, I'm going to use rhinestones. But look at that. It's like not dripping anywhere. That is so cool. Okay, I'm going to put that in a mold and see what happens. It should be fine. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I'm going to get this cured and I guess I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know how long it's going to take. Are you ready for the grand finale? Before that, these are all the extras that came from the resin that I used. So I think I showed you the turtles. These cute little gold turtles. Adorable. So I'll put magnets on the back of those for you guys. And then I mixed some red glitter in with some clear resin, and I made some roses for a future cake. So those came out really pretty. So the trick is to spray alcohol in this rose mold, and it seems to alleviate the bubbles in the petals. So that's one little thing. Then I mixed some of my turquoise waters glitter, which is a flake. It's a flake glitter, not really a glitter. And I made these two little things, so I'll make magnets out of those. And I have a whole mess of these. These are actually flowers, but you can't really tell because of all the glitter. So I will make magnets out of those. So those are all of them. I mean, that glitter is just gorgeous. It even looks good in the camera, but it looks better in person. And then I found this ice cream mold that I forgot that I had. And I painted the top with my metallic silver and the bottom with the metallic gold. And got these three. So those were really cute. And they came out really nice. Like the paint came out perfect. So those will be magnets, of course. And then I used the rest of the hand painter's resin and I put it in there. And that's this. It was actually on both, as you could see the back. So I took some acrylic paint in like a cream color and let that dry. And then I took UV resin and my fake sprinkles and sprinkled them on top and cured that. So those will also be magnets. So let me move this stuff out of the way and I will show you the final product of the cake, which I have learned a couple things. Now, keep in mind, it was my first time using that hand painter's resin. So there was a learning curve. Excuse me. Are you ready? Da, 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 da. What do you think? There's the top. I love the roses. They did stick, so those are good. That's nice and sealed in. That's not going anywhere. And then here's the side. And as you can see, these two lines got wonky. And I think I know what I did because the rest of them, although I need a little bit of practice piping with that resin because it is not like buttercream. It's more like a glue. So I took these little bows and I hot glued them on top of each one. But I think what happened was I put this in the curing machine because I was afraid of it dropping. Well, these two did drop, these two right here. So the bows are covering the droppage on it. And I think maybe this side was underneath the blower from the curing machine, and it may have heated it and let it blow down because the rest of it stayed perfectly in place. So it's definitely a great resin. This I kind of messed up by, I didn't realize what I did, and now I see what I did. The cord got stuck and I bumped it, and I didn't think I ruined anything, but I guess I missed that spot. So all in all, what would I change? I would pipe this a little bit thinner. I wouldn't use such a big piping tip for this small cake. I don't think I will paint these anymore because I don't want to see all that little pieces parts. So I think that will be filled in with just resin like I did on the heart one. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if I'd use these bows again because the same thing. They're really hard to get filled in. So there are a few bubbles in the bows. So if you want this, it is on eBay with the flaws and all. So I hope you enjoyed the video. There was so much involved in this video. All the extras, the surprises, the gifts, and the giveaway. Don't forget, put in the comments how many emojis you saw if you want to enter a chance to win that giveaway. I will wait 3 days this time because some people were saying that they were not able to watch the video within 24 hours. So I'm going to wait 3 days and I will pick the winner. All right, you guys, you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.